I left the BMW.
For the first time today, we are hearing stories from the 4 women who accuse a former San Diego police officer of sexual misconduct on the job. Christopher Hayes faced 3 of his 4 accusers today in court as his preliminary hearing. Hayes was charged back in February with 2 counts of felony false imprisonment and 3 counts of misdemeanor sexual battery. NBC7's Megan Tavrizian just stepped out of the courtroom, and a warning here, there are some very graphic details out today. Megan?
Yeah, that's a good warning, Monica. We heard from 3 of the 4 alleged victims today in court, and their stories all have a similar beginning. They say that they were walking along El Cajon Boulevard when former officer Christopher Hayes pulls them over and persistently asks to give them a courtesy ride home. We do have video from the courtroom today taken just a few hours ago. Former officer Chris Hayes sitting emotionless. His wife and mother sit behind him. We heard from Jane Doe 1, who claims Hayes patted her down aggressively and inappropriately in a dark, secluded parking lot near El Cajon Boulevard on October 30th of last year. She says he first approached her as she was at a bus stop and offered her a ride home, then motioned for her to get in a back parking lot where he pinned her against his patrol car and grabbed her breasts and private area for at least 20 minutes. She recognized him as the same officer who had arrested her and taken her to jail 3 weeks earlier.
Aggressive and pervertive.
Why so?
Well, me being a woman and us being a man, you know how this sexual touch is, and it was more of a sexual touch than a person that's of a San Diego Police Department.
We then heard from Jane Doe 2, who says Hayes picked her up on El Cajon Boulevard on December 23rd of last year. She was lost without her glasses and a broken flashlight. She says Hayes drove her to a friend's house where he patted her down, rubbing her breasts and private area repeatedly. Then he sat with her in the driveway and talked to her about things she felt were inappropriate, like what color is your underwear, and suggested that if he were in bed with her, he'd bite her neck and pull her hair.
I feel that he was equally lingering over every part of my body, whether it was private or not. The whole entire search was lingering.
What do you mean by that?
It felt like it took an eternity. Maybe it was only 2 or 3 minutes at the most. But still, that's longer than any other search I've ever had, especially with somebody touching me in an obscene way.
Hayes' defense questioned the accusers because Jane Doe 1 and Jane Doe 2 did not come forward. They were actually approached by sex crime detectives to tell their story. The defense also pointed out that Jane Doe 1 has an extensive criminal history. Jane Doe 2 was on meth during this alleged incident. Jane Doe 3 was pretty drunk during the alleged incident. And Jane Doe 4 did not show up at court today because she has a warrant. Megan Tavrizian reporting live from downtown.